It's June the 2nd. Can y'all believe it? This year is almost halfway gone already. Where did the time go? Where did the time go? Yep, I'm back in the pit again. I'm down in Cincinnati in the pit in my son's room, his studio room he used for that, his multi-purpose room. You see a mask on the wall. It is what it is on the wall behind me. He just be doing his thing up in here. Hopefully he listening and he can get this song done. I want him to get done for me. My intro song. I, I don't understand it. I hope he hears me while I'm talking to y'all too. Hopefully he get this song done for me that I want him to do. It's good. I can write a little bit, y'all. I might have to pick up a little bit on mine. Maybe I might get picked up or something. But anyway, I just want y'all to like, share, and ask people to subscribe to 810 News Media Group. You know, we got to get the word out there to the people. We like to bring the news you can use, the news that other people ain't gonna bring you. You know, sometimes we have breaking news, be the first to share and do a whole lot of stuff. So we want to get y'all up and going. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful day. Down here it's been raining since yesterday. I'm not sure what's going on in Flint. I think in Flint it probably was sunny. And I said, why did I come down here when it's raining? And I could have been at home in the beautiful sunshine, but it's always good to spend time with your family. Those are the things that make me happy. You remember last week we talked about ways to happiness. You got to find those ways to get to happiness. We're going to talk about some things that we need to do because we know it's a lot of stuff that's going on in Flint. One of the things I do want to mention about what's been happening in Flint, you all keep your eyes and your ears open. Be able to decipher things that's not right. If it don't feel right, investigate to see why you're not feeling right about it. And I have to just hit that. I said I wouldn't. This show isn't like that and about all of the different things with the politics, but I don't care where you're at. Politics always play a part, no matter where. People like get you to doing things or get you in positions because they like you, they know you. It ain't necessarily because you're the best for the job, but it's about like, views, and votes. So we already know that, and that's in any capacity or where you at. Go to a job interview and have other candidates and see if they don't vote on who's the best candidate. Politics. Sometimes it's somebody gonna call in a favor. They want their friend to get in there. We see that happening, and we see that happening quite a bit. But we got to stop that difference. I have to say it again. Take a book out the page. Take a page out the book of Jared. Mr. Jonathan Jarrett been standing on business, asking questions. Other city council members have also Councilwoman Tanya Burns and Jerry Winfrey Carter, Councilman Dennis Pfeiffer. You all stick steadfast to your vote. Keep voting for the people. Um, I just have to say what's truthful and what I can see. I'm praying that we get some others to step up and vote for the people and quit voting down against the people. Remember, the people are the ones who's supposed to make the city turn, not y'all, just y'all nine. This is a whole city of almost nearly 80,000. Don't play the Trump card and act, I'm literally the Trump card, and act like the 80,000 can't think for themselves and that they only need the nine people to think for them and make decisions, because that's not true. Um, Getting us some money to help restore a park, but yet still won't restore um, Oak Park. And I'm gonna talk about that too because I did go to that meeting that Ashley Capital had up at the McCree Theater the other day. Very disappointed in some of the things that I did hear. Um, we as a people, we do have to take responsibility because we did allow some things to happen when Buick General Motors was in Flint and let some things happen. However, because I was naive to what was going on, or we as a people was naive to what was happening behind the doors, is not a justification for you to take advantage of the people and try to make the people be responsible now. Because now we know we able to better do what? Function and be better able to make sound decisions. Because when we didn't know, we didn't know. We were just a trusting people. We trusted you all were going to do right by the people. in that meeting, I brought up an issue that I had addressed also at City Council. My issue was if when when General Motors tore down Buick, or they were torn down because they was caught up into the bankruptcy, and Racer Trust was the one who was supposed to have made sure that that ground was safe. Why were they allowed to leave concrete slabs to contain the contaminants without the ability of, when those things were removed, it was going to cause a problem? And also the houses and the homes that are in that area, their land is contaminated also. So stop saying it's just at that site. It's already contaminated outside of the Buick City site. We had people that went out and did soil sampling and testing, and those soils had so much stuff and contaminants in it. And it was reported to the city and reported to the necessary people who were what contaminants were in that soil, like asbestos, arsenic, lead, all kinds of stuff, where those people who live in that area should not be growing gardens because of that. So there is I'm just going to tell you, there is another program that will be coming back to Flint. I'll be advertising that. And the reason why I'm going to advertise that is because it's a good program to help out some of our youth make a few dollars while they're out and about in the city, doing some different things in the city and help them with some soil sampling. I personally know, because I worked with the program last year, and it's a program that's my daughter's program. Maybe that's who I'll get on here to talk soon, because she needs to get that program out there. Is very important. She was very instrumental with initially bringing and helping with that water program that's up there at the Flint Development Center, though some people try to act like they don't remember that, because there was some political things that went on with that. The reason why she wasn't running that actual program. Yep, I'm talking about the infamous program up there that Miss Candace Mushat is up there running. My daughter was instrumental in the very beginning. Part of that program was helping getting that in there. So I might bring her on just to talk a little bit about some of the environmental injustices, things that she talks about around the city, around the country, because she's not just limited to Flint. They actually do one out in California, and they do one more closer over on the East Coast. So that was saying that Ashley Capital know that Racer Trust did not do everything that they were supposed to do. And Ashley Capital want now what the citizens of Flint to pay to have that stuff, contaminants, cleaned up, $72 million. I'm gonna be honest with you. If I had to give my honest opinion, I don't think the $72 million is gonna cover it. I got a feeling they're gonna come back and ask for more, because the way he was talking about how they had to contain everything there on that Buick site, and it's already outside of the site, so that's not gonna happen. And when they remove those concrete slabs to develop, that's going to release where the contaminants are now able to be out and about and airborne, which means that they'll have to shut down production and stop in the middle of it, from what he was telling us. But the BS that he was telling us about Oak Park, they said it's not worth them developing and putting money into that park because people won't come. Now I'm going to just say this. When it came time years ago for them to develop Bluebell Beach and put all of the water pods out at Bluebell Beach, they spent all of that money. They said because people would definitely be ready to come out there and to bring their children out there to Bluebell Beach. Now, I don't know now. I know at one time, I'm talking about years ago, they had a bus that used to run to Bluebell Beach, so you could catch the bus no matter where you lived at in the city. But I don't know if that bus services is still available. And I'm talking about years ago, like 10 plus years ago, maybe more than 20 years ago, that when they used to have it. Maybe even when I was a child, that's when the buses used to run down there. But I lived close enough living in the projects off Carpenter Road. I lived close enough to walk to the beach and come back home. Well, Oak Park is no further from housing and residential area than Bluebell Beach was from us from the projects. So why is it so hard for us to think about developing that, possibly putting out a water pad or something for the children to come to and play? I even suggested that they look into other cities. I mentioned Cincinnati in particular because I lived here and I saw the water pads that were put into different communities. Yeah, they had philanthropists and stuff that was doing some of that stuff and everything, but y'all robbed us when y'all put in auto work. So what's the problem? What's the difference? And giving the children a chance and an opportunity to be able to go and play and do some things in the summer. You could also make it where it could fit into where it could be teenagers that could be there and help be the supervisors there, running the pod during the summertime. That's a summer job and a summer opportunity. Our youth are looking for opportunities to go. We gave money of the ARPA funds to some of these 501c3s to run different opportunities. Why couldn't you do that for the children since y'all want to put so much into the parks? Talking about giving them a place to go and play and fun. I'm confused. I'm not confused. It's confusing because you're talking double-sided, talking, as they used to say, out the side of your neck. We don't understand what you're saying because you're double talking. And as soon as we get to putting in another whole perspective and giving you something that's real and tangible, then you want to throw in some logistics that don't even add up. You voted for that park to be sold back in the 80s, and if it wasn't, you made sure there was no limit of time on that. Let's talk about getting it put back on the ballot and seeing what the people say. Can we do that? Let's do that. I want someone to introduce a resolution, either a council or something, that we put it back on the ballot and allow the people to vote. Because if the people actually knew what they were voting for back then, they would have never voted to give that park away. And whoever did it back then knew that when it came back up again, it was time to reintroduce that and to go into perspective with that. But Ashley Capital, I still say no. The gentleman that was there, I'm gonna say no to him. Don't say no to him because it's not him, it's the bigger company. Well, he came in and represented the other company. And he knew what he was representing when he came in. So yes, he need to take the fall for part of that too. Stop doing us like that and quit dumbing us down. I'm so sick and tired of them. When I say them, I'm talking about the big conglomerates and the corporations coming in and getting one of us who look like us in our community to dumb us down. I have to look back, and I love Nat Turner. But remember in the movie Nat Turner, they used Nat Turner to do what? To dumb down the slaves and to keep the slaves under control. So Nat Turner realized he was being used. And then he stood up. And there you have it, Nat Turner Rebellion. Because he knew that they was doing us wrong. And he knew that what they were doing, they were actually using him. And that pissed him off even more. But what's making me sad and disgruntled is to see that our people in the community, I'm talking about black, brown, red, yellow, and even white people. So don't get up and say that we talking about only blacks. But yes, we talking in particular because it's more blacks that's being affected by it. That's the reason why we mention black first. Take it or leave it. It's the truth. It's facts. But what we're saying is that the poor people who don't know, because we're not into tricks and games. So we're not playing the tricks and games. But however, many of you all are playing tricks and games with our lives. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. That's all I can say is stop it. Because when you start to thinking about the tricks and the games that you're playing as we're waking up and that veil is getting revealed off our eyes, we're waking up. And that's why I have to say, Mr. Jonathan Jarrett has brought a different light to the city council, if nothing else. Elected councilman, not appointed, not selected, elected. He was elected, the people chose him because he's definitely revealing things that many of us never even thought about. And when you start thinking about it, what did he say? Why are we not? One of the key things I heard you say, Councilman Jarrett, was that why have we not started talking about our budget hearings earlier? And if you all remember, thank you for reminding me too, Eric Mays been telling us that for years. And the rest of us have been just sitting down and we've been allowing this to keep happening over and over and over again to where now we at a crunch time and now they want to come in like they did the last couple of years and just pass a budget. Because don't start acting like you're trying to follow the charter today because it's a budget and it's something you want to follow. I'm sorry, Mickey, but When I hear somebody say, we have to follow the charter, stop it, Councilwoman Liddell Lewis and Councilwoman Judy Priestley.
You talking about that press conference, ain't you?
Their press conference. Oh my God, we got to pass the budget. See, we're got to be in compliance with the charter. You weren't in compliance with the charter when you said 5 votes was 2/3 of the votes. And I have to just say it from the city clerk's office. You ain't in compliance with, how is Candace Bouchard still sitting on this council without an election being held for her position? A year later almost. And she'll be in there as being appointed for a year. And you didn't hold no election in. Don't say you trying to follow the charter when you in total violation of the charter. And it's because it was convenient for you. You know, these are the things that I'm talking about that just, it's good when it's good for you now because that's what you want to see. But when it ain't what you want to see, you can do whatever you want to do. Lawlessness, lawlessness ain't personal, it's business.
How do we change it though?
You got to change the mindset of the people. People got to stop selling out people. We see so many sellouts around here. I'm full. I'm full. When you got a person who could buy, you could buy them out for a few dollars. And I understand when people say buy out people for a few likes, because we're looking for likes on these different podcasts and these different interviews. We want people to like us. And don't get me wrong, everybody wants somebody to like you. And y'all stop saying, we ain't putting our podcast up for views. You're a lie, because if you wasn't, you wouldn't be doing it. So stop saying that. You want people to look at your podcast because you got a word you want to give to the people. Now, the reason why you want people to look at your podcast may vary, but you want people to look at your podcast. I will be lying to you. If I only got 1 view a week on this podcast, you think I'm going to keep wasting my time coming on here for only 1 view a week? No, I'm not. And I'm going to be honest with you. You ain't either. Any of the rest of y'all that's saying y'all is, y'all telling a story. Y'all looking for the views. But we got to think about the meaning and the reason why we're looking for the views. One of the ways we could definitely start to having building better leadership, because we got to build a better positive leadership in our community, is deliberative dialogue. And I'm going to let you look that up and see what deliberative means. That means you can sit at the table and not agree, but have a dialogue where you could come to a consensus and say, this is the solution. But many of us we don't want to do that. If we ain't top cop, if we ain't at the top, we don't want to be a part of it. We got to be the number one. We got to be the one who everybody gonna come to. Stop it. We got to be a council together, a group together in the community. In the community. We got to stop doing that. And we keep selling ourselves out, and we selling ourselves short in our communities for a dime. How many of us been down there fighting for ARPA dollars, or wanted to fight for ARPA dollars, but from the very beginning, we already knew it was crookedness that was coming with it, and being told you got to have a 501c3 or a fiduciary in order to be able to get money? Because I'm going to tell you, in 2020, I was told then, if you ain't got no 501c3, you ain't got it. They already got it selected who that money is going to go to, and you're going to have to go through those different organizations to get dollars. I was told that back in 2020. Soon as COVID started and they started talking about money's possibly coming into town. So I'm not saying something that's this is the first time for many of us to be unheard it. But when are we going to start the real leaders? I got very few people, and I'm just going to be honest with you. Probably can count them on one hand that I could tell you going to be consistent. Because many of us are not consistent in the way we move. Today we friends, tomorrow we enemies. Next week we back friends again and everything. Because we moving shiesty and shady. That's just it. We're not consistent with how we like to move around and move about. Let's sit down and have some deliberative dialogue and talk about some of the issues and be open to other suggestions than to doing things the way you used to have been doing it. I liked it my 15 down in Atlanta. They signed for a long time, and I don't know if they still got it up there. It was no more business as usual. That was their motto in Atlanta, and Atlanta been booming. Their motto was no more business as usual. Because we used to doing things a certain way. I've been told, no, you just don't like to listen to folks. That's what some people said. I said, no, I don't like to listen to BS. And I can detect it. That's why I'm not listening to you. It ain't got nothing to do with I don't like to listen to you. I listen to you and hear you. And when I started hearing the BS, the ding dings come up in my ear. And I start to listen. I still listen to you because I want to hear how much and how far you think you can go and how foolish you think I am. That's what's happening there. We got to stop that. And I implore everybody that's listening to stop that. Just because it's a person who has a high, I won't say high standard, but has a high on the totem pole, like his leadership, and we look at them as being leaders, that don't mean that they all the time giving you the best advice, the best information, the best way to go. And I'm gonna leave it like that without going too far. But just know, if I'm not, you don't see me following what you're saying and what you're doing, either you haven't clearly explained yourself, or else I detect that you got some BS in what you're saying too. That's just it.
But you,
Go ahead.
no, not to cut you off, but I'm glad that you just spoke on that. How do we change this up though? Because it just seemed like I'm not saying that it can't get better, but it just seemed like it's a lack of leadership in Flint. It's more like who you associated with or who you friends with.
Right. And if you're not affiliated and associated with that certain crew, I'm gonna call them the Rat Pack. And there's several different Rat Packs around here. That
Right.
if you're not associating around with them, then they ain't associating around with you.
Right, because I want to go back to like you were saying with this budget, like they're saying we gotta do what the charter say. Didn't the charter also say about receiving gifts? It's like they be selective a part of the charter they want to go with, then if it's something they want, they overlook the charter.
Yes. And not only does the charter say something about the receiving of gifts, remember they tried to come back and do it and say that the council can't accept gifts. No, the charter said can't none of y'all accept gifts. That's including downstairs the administration. That's including all these other entities and buildings and parts of government. You can't accept gifts. That's illegal. Guess what? I'm in the medical field. I'm not allowed to accept gifts. No gifts. And we know what gifts, what they are and what they mean. So no, we're not allowed to accept gifts. Period. That's a federal offense, I believe. But we want to accept it when it's okay. It was just only. No, it wasn't just only. And let's not even bring up that $20,000.
That's what I was finna hit you with.
Man, brother Mickey.
A year later.
And I'm like, oh, I thought that was taken care of and pay back 35,000 or 20,000, and y'all.
Why is it not an investigation? Because when Liddell, the president, said it was took care of, then she just came back and said at council she was lied. That's what she was told. We know it was a lie. Why wouldn't you do an investigation now?
So I got a question, because these things, and I know our brother, dear beloved Councilman Mays, may God be pleased with him, used to always say, let's bring them in and put them under oath. But I got a question. When you raise your right hand and either swear or attest to serve the people and be truthful, ain't that you already under oath?
You would think.
So if it's an individual meeting and you bring false information and you found to be lying, ain't you already purged?
You know what? I don't know how politics is played here. You would think, because remember, Holkenroder, the former president of the council, purged herself in the case, but
under oath in the court.
Yeah, so I don't think nothing happened to her.
and she resigned and got out of there. But that don't mean that you're innocent. And who did not pursue the case? The prosecutor's office. Y'all better remember that when y'all electing these people, what these people are doing. They playing favor. They playing some favoritism, and you have the power. As a power group, we need to be able to go in and say to the prosecutor, why didn't you charge her in that case? That case was very significant because look what it did to Eric May. Look at what it did, and she lied and purged herself. But my thing is that if you sit there in front of everybody and you tell them, oh, the $20,000 was paid back, and you didn't know it wasn't paid back, you lie because you implied that you knew and had actual fact. And where that $20,000 mysteriously showed up from need to be investigated.
But why she not making a big fuss about it? Because I'm just giving you an example. When I was lied upon, I wanted high hell to get the lies that was told on me. I was pissed off. That's what I'm saying with her. And that's why I was like, let's prove if I was accused of doing this and that. She with them lying to you, she don't see that strange. Like if they lied to you over at the DDA, you know what I'm saying? And it went to the news. Remember, M Live pushed these lies too, said it was paid.
Yep.
And then you get a cashier check pop up a year later.
But M Live, y'all been lying so much, y'all should be called M Lies. I'm just gonna say M Lies because they've been producing and publishing false narratives for a long time. You know, did you all ever come back and apologize to me and Gina Luster about the lies you produced and you put in there about us? Nope. You never apologized. And even seen Ron Fonger out, and he told me I had no clue who he was. He told me, he said, Sister Muhammad, I know who you are. I said, oh, I didn't know. I said, oh, you the one that put that false that false article in there that we was down there ready to jump somebody at the city council meeting when it was over in the county building. When it was clear as day on the video, I was pulling in the parking lot in my car after what the incident that supposedly happened, and they were already in the parking lot. I'm gonna be honest with you, Allie Holroker is the one who said that ain't the truth. I didn't say that because I saw Miss Muhammad pulling in the parking lot when the incident supposedly had happened. But you know what's even crazier to me, Mickey, is our stupid black folks in the community spreading that lie. People who claim they want to keep about and bring about peace, squashing all of that crap. Who claim, and I'm trying not to go too far and go deep in it, but claiming they want to resolve conflicts, but keeping up more heck and havoc in the community than anything by helping to promote and spread lies. Y'all know good and daggone well Adele Lewis done more damage in our community and trying to make her look like she's something that she done was so good. Stop lying. You a liar too, as far as I'm concerned. And I don't care if they hear it and they know who I'm talking about. I ain't got to imply.
Have you looked at the rules? Have you looked at the rules when Tanya was breaking it down on her show yesterday? She's saying them rules just not for city council. Them ordinance that they just made. Yep. If you hurt somebody's feelings, like, are you serious? They're allowing this to pass on that case.
So then that's been the case. My feelings have been hurt when you call my name 20, 30 times on an incident that I never even stated that I wanted to even speak on. When Tanya Burns mentioned my name as maybe I could come up there to explain what it means about the what was it, the you know what I'm talking about, the when the church wanted to get the money,
right?
We about HIPAA law.
HIPAA, right? The HIPAA law.
I said I wanted to say anything, but y'all made a scene and did a run like I wanted to say something. Why would I want to say something? I don't care. I just want to know that if you giving money away, and if I give these people my information, are they gonna hold it and are they gonna be held accountable for it? You don't have no laws in place. They ain't did nothing to review nothing with their workers. They not gonna be held accountable because you can't hold them accountable for something you didn't ask them ahead of time. And it's obvious that agency, that entity, how you come and say you're part of Genesee Health Systems, but yet and still you ain't got that in place. It made me question Genesee Health Systems now. What are they doing? Because if I'm not mistaken, am I mistaken about that man saying that's where he came from? And everybody who work in those places have to go through that. Judy Priestley even said they all had to go through it. She had to go through it in the accounting office, which now make me say, Hurley, now I see why you've been messing up with everybody. You had a person like Judy Priestley working in your accounting office, and she can't count to 10. She can't do simple math to say 2/3 of 9 is 9, is 6.
What all you gotta do is look at she ready to push a budget through when Jonathan Jared had to point him out, said this has been cut and paste put together.
Yep.
They was ready to push, but remember, I think Tanya Dennis, one of them, caught him again last time. It was a group, a nonprofit coming to get 501, get some ARPA money. Didn't even have the papers filled out right. They was finna push that through.
What about with the willow trees?
Now, did you see? Now this is where that FBI would. I got to quote Brother Thrillkill on this when he say the friends, brothers, and in-laws deals.
Yep.
How did you see how hard Quincy went? He said he had, and when we was in that council meeting, he had emailed the land bank to help supersede this company. I mean, this nonprofit group to get theirs, but you didn't do that for when that brother came up there. You didn't call the land bank. You put that back into, what was it? I'm not think special affairs or something. They pushed his back. Quincy,
Right.
did you make it publicly like you did this other company? I mean, you did this other nonprofit that came for the willow trees. Did you call the land bank? They went and pushed this through, but you didn't do this. But that was important for the Fourth Ward, as Judy was trying to do some gaslighting, saying, you know, people don't care about the Fourth Ward. I just rode through the Fourth Ward again yesterday. Unbelievable how high grass is over there.
I remember when we was when they were campaigning in 2021 and we were over there helping Mike Dones with campaigning.
Yes,
and
yes.
we rode through there and I asked them, I said, it looked like a war zone over here in the Fourth Ward. And Kate Fields was constantly trying to talk about everybody else and them poor people on the north side. What about them poor people over in the Fourth Ward? That's where you should have been concentrating. And she wasn't returning phone calls. The people I called personally from one of my patients' houses over in the Fourth Ward called her because we needed some help and some assistance with something. And she never called that lady back. And it was one of your elders. And guess what? It was an elderly white woman. It wasn't an elderly black woman. So I can't even say race was a part of that. You just didn't like the people, period. You was there for that paycheck. And that's what many of them are down there for. They down there for that extra money, that paycheck. But y'all got to be in there for the people. And I'm just watching and seeing the shenanigans. Like, I don't know if you paid attention. Go up Martin Luther King now. And I'll segue that into Juneteenth season, right? So we know there's a lot of events that started yesterday that's going forward up to the day of the parade on the 19th. Where does the parade come? It come out of the park, go up Pasadena to King, turn right and head to downtown. If you'll look, right as soon as you turn right, between Pasadena and I want to say maybe down going toward Dayton, they got a lot of that road was blocked off because they started to do road work. Why would you do that, city of Flint? When you know this is an annual event, are you trying to put a stumbling block in the way again? Because remember, you did that before, and what happened at the parade because you wanted to go against the traditional Juneteenth. When a young lady came in there, for whatever her reason is, and lost her life at the hands of the Flint City Police Department. Yes, she did pull something and shot at the police. But look at what happened. It's still this whole scenario you setting up because you want to show people off and show them up. Why would y'all start to doing road work and constructing it? We already know you did that stuff to be funny and put that stuff out there when Karen Weaver was running to make sure you blocked off part of her entryway to her campaign headquarters. You did that then. Are you just doing that's a bully? To me, that's just bully behavior. Like, really, stop it. Just stop. Just stop. And I'm saying it because it seems like it's one time, oh, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. But now you done made that mistake how many times? We could probably count other times where you done did that too. Because we ain't gonna talk about that time when you had the trees cut down and left all across City Hall's yard and they knew that if the people was coming down there to have a program down there, I think it was the wine and some of the other might have been the Man Up Peacekeepers, might have been some of them. You had trees and stuff all over the lawn to where they had to move logs out the way to even be able to get on the lawn to have a party. And then whoever it was that did the services just left it. I ain't never seen nobody do lawn care services and then leave a mess like that and say we'll clean it up in a couple of days. I ain't never seen that. That was an intentional. I'm sorry, that ain't even professional. Whoever did it was not a professional job. And then when I went down there, I went live on that Sunday and it was raining and it was mud puddles all over everywhere from where they had messed up down there. And I did a live down there on purpose, not accidental, on purpose, just to show, because I couldn't make it that Saturday and I was going to just videotape just the trees. But because it was raining, I remember I went down there that Sunday to vote. And I didn't just go down there without doing for a purpose. I went in there and voted, or early voted, and it was messed up all on the lawn. It's too many of these little hiccups, and we sorry, we really didn't know. You think we do it intentional? Yep, I think you would. And I think you do some other stuff intentional. Then you have done some other stuff intentional, and we're seeing it. But guess what? The people are starting to get favored and they're starting to be able to overcome. But you're trying to do that to distract us because we know that you're making a mess. See, stop. Just stop it. That's not even trying to help bring about and bring unity in the city. And quit trying to say, we're trying to unify the city. No, you're trying to unify the city under dictatorship. That's what you're trying to unify the city under, dictatorship. Like that mean we went to on Wednesday. Liddell was so hell-bent on making us get put out. She sicked the police on Winters. But the police didn't put Winters out because they realized Winters wasn't even saying nothing. It wasn't her that was talking and saying anything. And then because Winters turned her back on her, she sicked the police, tried to make the police put her out. Winters turned her back on her and didn't say a word.
I
She said,
know.
put her out because she's still talking.
I know, because I asked him, the brother officer.
Yeah.
I said, ain't nobody said nothing, but the way, like you said, she being a dictator, them people don't want to be reassigned. It's like, look at Metcalf. Don't get me wrong, like what Jonathan Jerry said, I'm not trying to bring up nothing about the budget. I can't blame the administration.
Yep.
It's the same thing with them. They're allowing Liddell to weaponize, even with Candace. I get it too, to do the most weaponization of them besides Kim, and we had Liddell. Eva Worthy, but the way Candace and really Liddell is on steroids with putting you out.
And you know what? You know who tried to be smooth with theirs? That daggone Judy.
Facts. As Rich would say, facts.
She's trying to be so smooth with her slick self. She always trying to slick in something on us with that. But yeah, but that day I was standing back there with Winters when she did that. And I said, I'm just gonna move my lips like I'm talking. And see, I think we was moving our lips like we was talking and wasn't saying nothing. She said she could hear us. That just go to show she ain't got dog. She don't have dog hearing. That's a dog that can hear the lips just moving a little bit. Come on, stop. And I looked at that police officer and said, I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna say it now because I want y'all to hear me. If I was you, I would go to another municipality and get a job because they ain't paying you enough for this. I said it. They pay you more somewhere else. And I see why people come into Flint, get trained, and go somewhere else because you don't pay them enough. Police department better remember this. Remember when right after Liddell and them got elected, they was trying to give the police department a bonus before Christmas, and Eric kept trying to push it, and they kept pushing back and didn't want to give the police department a bonus. And I don't even know if they even got their raises, because I remember while I was out campaigning, I ran into a police officer and he said, they don't want to give us a raise. Are you willing to support us with getting a raise? I said, I think you all are very underpaid and I think you all deserve a raise. Now, if you got money for all of these extra police officers to be on the street, but yet still you got police officers in there that you're not being paid, that's not being paid right, why are we not sitting up and negotiating to give them a sizable or a sensible raise to make it to where they're compatible to other municipalities so they're not getting trained and leaving? Just make some of this stuff make some sense to me. Because you're not getting the police officers and you're not getting the quality of officers that we need. Flint need good quality, dedicated officers that's willing to go out there and help, not say put their life on the line, but go out there and be the negotiators in the community. You know, I had to mention, I'm watching The Shy, and it's just interesting to me how they started talking about defunding the police department. As soon as you start to talk about defunding the police department, people want to get they stuff, as they say, their panties in a bunch and get in an uproar about it. But do the job of the citizens. Quit doing the job of these few politicians that want to hold their feet on your neck. Stand up somewhere. Stand up somewhere. You know, as we was talking earlier, you know, just quit. We take the candy because we're afraid of losing something, because if I don't go along to get along, see, I might lose it. I'm gonna just tell you, okay, so because I know we're gonna end this, we're gonna land this plane soon. And I have to do, of course, all my announcements at the end. But I'm just gonna tell you this. Liddell Lewis keep calling the school board on me, saying that I'm not acting professional down there. Look at her trying to jump folks, but I ain't acting professional. I ain't trying to jump nobody. I ain't call people out their name like she did. I ain't did none of that. She want to dangle in front of me the carrot. If you don't stop and shut up when you come down here, they will remove you from the library board. That position at the library board ain't mine anyway. So guess what? If they removed me from it, it's not mine. But do you think you're going to stop me from talking? I'm still going to talk and speak out, regardless if I'm on the library board or not. The best thing to do is keep me on the library board, because you might have me under some kind of constraint. Because if I'm not there, I'm going to come down. I keep saying it. You don't want that part. Now I'm saying it, and I mean that. Listen to me and hear me, because I know she tapped in to listen, or somebody sent her the clip. Ham gonna come down even harder. I'm not trying to get removed from no position or no position at the library, but just the same, I'm not gonna say I can't speak up as a citizen of Flint against your tyranny and what you doing wrong in the community. Your lies and acting like you out cleaning up when it was a city that hired a whole team to come out and clean up. You ain't did nothing. So stop lying to the people. Yeah, we out to get recall signatures against you, and we are starting. We got to August the 2nd to get enough signatures, and I'm sure we will have it, to get rid of you. And it's not personal. So quit trying to make everything be so personal. You think things are so personal. I was talking about somebody else you called and want to act like it was you, and it wasn't you. It was somebody else. So stop taking things and making things look so personal and taking it to don't nobody, they just mad, they don't like me. No, we mad because you're doing wrong by the citizens of Flint. Flint deserve better. They deserve much better than the way they've been treated by at least 4 of y'all who have been on there for a while. We moving into more. I'll put it like this, at least 4 of y'all that's still sitting on there. Because we had 2 others who wasn't doing right by the citizens of Flint that moved out the way. Well, we got a lot of y'all that's not doing right by the citizens of Flint. Stand up. Start speaking out. Stop holding stuff in because you're afraid that you're not going to be liked. It's time out for that. We need good leadership in the city of Flint. We need leadership of people who are not afraid. They're not afraid to take a stand. People who are not afraid to speak the truth, regardless to whom or what. Whom or what. And anybody telling you that Liddell Lewis is doing good, positive things in the second ward, I'm just going to tell you, they're a liar too. Now, I said it. Take it or let it alone. Most of y'all who saying that don't live in the second ward, you ain't affected by her not calling back and responding. You ain't affected by her walking out of city council meetings when important things are on the board to be spoken of. She only on there to see what she can get. That's selfishness, and it has to stop. That is not what we need in leadership. She's not the only one, so this is not a pick on her. It's some of these so-called pseudo leaders in the community who want to act like they out here really doing something. Okay, I'm for the peace walks. I'm for all of that. But after you get through doing the peace walk, what work are you doing? Are you doing the work? We had one of the largest weekends of shootings and killings after a peace walk. There's something wrong with that. And that's not a knock on those who helped to organize that and helped to do that, but there's something that was missing. What is that missing part of that? I'm tired of doing walks because afterwards, nothing is getting done after that. I'm tired of sitting down and taking training to learn how to use a tool and then don't even use it. What good is that? What is it benefiting the people? And saying, well, we could get out there and we could do this, and this is what we want to do. Yeah, yep, we can. But are you? Are you doing it? Let's sit down. I'm talking about some serious leaders. If you want to be a serious leader, inbox me. Let's sit down and have a conversation. I can think of 4 or 5 people that I will call and say, hey, come on, let's sit down at the table and have a conversation, because I've talked to them. And they know this thing with this leadership. But I'm going to tell you, if you're coming to the table and you're selling out the folks and you're backpedaling and double talking, we don't want you in here. Don't do it. Don't come in telling us, see, this ain't the time for us to say that right now. Nope. The time is right now to call out all wrongdoing. This is the time. So don't come to the table, because if you is, I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna look at you like. Oh, you a go along to get along Negro. You need to go ahead and get along and go along. Go bye. We don't need you. We don't need you no more. We don't need you no more. We don't want you here no more. Your services is no longer welcomed. I'm sorry, Nikki. I'm full today because I done seen too much. And like I said, I like to come with something different. You see my book, I've been reading it, My Ways to Happiness. I've been really reading this. And I've been finding it. I was in a place, and when I walked in, my energy got disturbed because I knew they was full of BS. I turned around and went away. That was just here this week. I'm like, oh Lord, this is something don't feel right. Let me turn around and go. Because they ain't talking about nothing. They ain't trying to get the people organized. They're not trying to get the people up and running and going and being legit. And we got to stop that with the backbiting and the slighting and the talking. If we're going to say this person ain't doing this, okay, let's say it. Let's move on. Move away from them, move out, and start to move it toward bigger goals. Because we got some goals. But I want y'all to inbox me if you're serious about getting out, helping us to get those signatures to get Liddell Lewis up out of office. And I believe they got enough for Quincy Murphy to get him at least on the ballot. It's going to be campaign season, and it's not, this person over this person. We already know y'all tricks. Come on, we know y'all tricks. But y'all to try to do, okay, you see Quincy gonna run, and you see another strong candidate gonna run, and then you'll try to throw somebody in and take the full votes from the other strong candidate so that Quincy can get back in there. Y'all quit getting fooled by those tricks. They done been doing that to us too long. We seen that before. Let's sit down at the table and talk and say, hey, look, we got 6 candidates. We know 3 of them is good and strong, or 4 of them is good and strong. Let's sit down. Put your petty differences to the side and say, hey, this is my sister or my brother, and I know they're a good, strong candidate. We need to combine ourselves together. I need to pull myself back, and let's push this person forward. I did it, and I'm going to tell y'all I did it. I did it with Maurice Davis. They wanted me to run. I had people calling me, asking me to run the same year that he ran the first time against Jackie Poplar. I took the high road and said, Maurice, I'm going to put my support behind you and help you to get in. I pulled back. I could have easily ran on that ticket because I had the support. But I did. I went to him, woman to man, and talked to him and said, you really want it? He said, yes. Maurice came out the gate doing pretty good for a while. And I'm not gonna knock him or promote him. But he did at that time. He was what we needed at that time. But I'm just telling you, stop doing that. We got so many people. We got people out here who are actually doing the work. So why are we not supporting them more? Instead of saying, that's not the person we want. Let's support the strong candidate, the one we know who's out here doing the work. I don't care if you rode on the bus yesterday or you came in on the bus on the Greyhound in the 60s or 70s. It don't make a difference. The strong candidate who's doing the work is what I'm looking for and looking for a candidate. We got to get out there and start to promoting and doing things. And some people do try to do the work and got held back. And then I'm gonna say this because we running on time. Eric Mays really wanted to do the work, and he was held up from doing a lot of the work. The work you see going on in the first ward now is work Eric been trying to do for the longest and was held up from getting it done. Truth is truth, facts is facts. Go back and look at some of the old recordings of some of the city council meetings and see the stuff that they kept voting down and taking and throwing out because they didn't want it to happen. Keep asking y'all, the city council, let's put these resolutions up on the table, whether one person supports you or not. But I'm seeing that's not going too far, too well. But we're gonna start presenting it a little different and a little more. But we getting ready to close out. Still so much more to talk about, Brother Mickey. I'm gonna have to spend a little bit more time on developing, of course, more leadership skills. I have been taking some leadership skills classes and stuff and trying to see the inner me to make me a better person, not a leader, a better person, in my own respect and leading myself. But I did want to say this. I'm going to put it in the chat, and been putting it in the chat. The website for you all to sign up, like I say, if the parade is on June the 19th, if you all are interested in being a part of your organization and being a part of the parade, they allow a lot of people, you just walk and ride your car through. But if your organization itself want a good position in the parade, they're asking people to register. It's just to help. And I'm going to give that on there, but it's bit.ly/Flint Juneteenth 2024 parade. And that's what you can definitely go in there and register yourself, your organization, sorority, businesses, and be able to be a part of the parade. I'm thinking about being an active part of the parade myself. I do have a new website that it is up, but I haven't put anything on it. It's audreyforflint.com. Actually, my email address is audreyforflint@gmail.com. I'm gonna put that also in the feed because I want people to start to being able to promote their programs and their different things that's coming up. So like so many of the city council meetings is coming up, we don't have a clue. We so confused. Put that stuff on that website. So that way you could just go to that website and just look and see this is the things that's going on. So I'm gonna be looking for people to help me out with sending stuff. Nope, I ain't getting paid for this. Nope, it's my free website. I paid for the website for a year. So we're gonna have this website for a year to use. At that time, I'll decide if I want to continue on with that website, which I believe I will want to continue on with that website, but it is audreyforflint@gmail.com is my email. audreyforflint.com is the website. And we're going to be putting some things up there today, a few things, because we got to know these city council meetings. There is one Wednesday on the 5th at 5:30 down at City Hall. That's the what is it called? That's the not special affairs, but it's the committee meetings that day. So we want you to be able to participate in that. Now, let's start to doing our rundown before we get ready to close out this show. I'm on every Sunday at 5 p.m. So keep tuning in. Next weekend is the Black Rodeo here in Flint. It's also, guess what? This officially starts birthday week for me. My birthday is next Saturday. Most people that know me know purple is my color. So I usually wear purple every day my week coming up. Y'all know Friday is Prince's birthday. So I'll go out in my Prince and my purple for on Friday on the 7th. I will be doing that. Be at the rodeo on Saturday. My family is still in debate. We may be there at the rodeo, but we will be celebrating. I have family and friends that are coming from out of town that will be it's a close family knit thing. I'll just put it like that. Just a few of us gonna get together, but we planning to go to the rodeo that evening. Some of us won't, just depending on, because I have my daughter-in-law there who is pregnant. She may be a little tired, so we're gonna leave her reserved at home. We ain't gonna tell her yet. We might make her babysit the children while we're gone. But anyway, we're gonna just have some good time, just family and friends. that's sitting out there. Just know that we plan to just make it a whole weekend. We're going out there to the rodeo and just enjoying ourselves. If you see me, please holler and say, "Hey, Sister Audrey, happy birthday! How you doing?" or something, or whatever you like. We like your show, whatever it is that you have. Any suggestions on topics that we could come up with, we would love to hear that too. And then we'll be back next Sunday, but I'll probably do a pre-recorded show for Sunday because I don't know how that day is going to come out in the whole weekend. So we got to slip it in, get it in while we can get it in. Mickey, you already know how we do. Then we're gonna start with this week coming up, 9/11 every day. We got the bump. We got the beautiful Winters Hall and Spacely Sprockets, Mickey Jordan, the producer, world's greatest producer, bringing you the bump every day, 9 to 11. They never disappoint, never disappoint. And then you have on Wednesdays at 12 noon, Trevor, right, Mick? Trevor Rants.
No. Solutions Wednesday. Solutions Trevor and Clack.
Trevor and Clack Solutions. See, Trevor, I'm so sorry, Trevor. Trevor and Clack Solutions on Wednesday. Then on Thursday you have, of course, the bump, and then at 6 you have beautiful Winters Hall on there with her surprise guests every week. We'll see who she have on coming on this week and talk to. Then on Fridays, is our big busy day. 9 to 11 is the bump. At 1 o'clock, that's Trevor Rant.
Right.
There you go. We got it. 5 o'clock, Carol and Clack with the community conversation. Right after that, following them, you have Winters Hall and Anna coming on, talking with Sister Circle. Then you have Ashley Rich on, bringing you the Hollywood news. Right?
Right.
On Saturday morning, you got Tanya Burns coming on at 10 o'clock. She bringing you all the updates from down there with the city council, what's going on. And then again, on Sunday, it's me, 5 o'clock every Sunday. I'm trying to think, did we forget anything, Mickey?
No, man.
This week, I think we crossed. I like today. I like today because we had some good, serious conversation concerning us. And hopefully next week, we'll start to bring in some other stuff in, talking about some other things, especially things we need to do. We got to just get our act together. So with saying that, do something good for yourself. Start to find ways to happiness. Find your ways of getting yourself where you can smile more and be more joyful. And hopefully next week we'll see some positive outcomes this week and see some more interesting things to come. So until then, I'm going to say peace, love you, enjoy your week. Have a